One, two, three.
Welcome, y'all. Now, in Hip Hop Talks Land in January, you said collectively this was going to be the year of J. Cole. That has not materialized yet, but we do have some JID to talk about tonight. And we're going to talk about the new JID album, God Does Like Ugly. I'm Andrew, that's Coop, and I hope you will stick around to the end to see whether we are going to name a third new album of the year album in as many weeks. Don't say that now. But what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you? I am.
Yeah.
Oh no, how are you? Like
No,
I feel.
I'm good. I had my daughter's 7th birthday yesterday, so we've been doing all that kind of stuff. We have school kicking off this coming week, and
Glory.
yeah, man. So I'm kind of in between those two pieces, but I'm looking forward to having this conversation tonight.
What year of teaching is this for you? 24?
23.
23. Okay. Shout out to all the teachers. I do
Mm-hmm.
want to say I do have a couple sidebars before we get into the music thing. I think I'm
Yeah,
kind
man.
of known for sidebars.
Sure.
Sometimes in this space, I think I come off as standoffish and cantankerous and problematic and all of those things. And I just want to like reiterate this. I would have it no other way. I'm very clear from what I'm watching go on in this nation right now that there is no progress during peace.
Mm.
Only during strife, only through challenging each other and challenging ideals and beliefs. So, over the course of doing this all these years, a lot of people, Andrew, I don't know how else to say this. Like, they think they can fuck with me, and like, it's the dumbest shit like they could ever think of. I will smoke all of you live. And I've been saying it for years, but I think I'm actually going to open up the forum for some of like the people who have been making comments and thinking that they actually like can debate with me, like really, really actually like go live with me. I think I'm actually going to open up the forum to it because I realize that it's like because of what I'm watching going on in this country, it's like I realize that I've actually been hurting my own progress by kind of laying back the last couple of years and not laying in the motherfuckers like I really do and like I really should. And so it's time for me to kind of get back to what I know and what I do. That's kind of like why when I came to you about what we should do with Mirror Music. Well, the music review is really where I've made my name in this space. I was the music review is what started the podcast for recording the hip hop. My music review.
Mm.
Um, my first pieces of writing that people got familiar with were at our high school newspaper, which were music reviews. And so all the podcasts and all the other stuff has been extra, but the review's always been the thing that I do, really,
Mm.
Andrew. You know what I'm saying?
Me too, actually.
Right. And so it's like, yeah, it's like I'm about to start smoking all you dudes that's been running your mouth for the last 5 years and reminding you who I am. But the food's right here, like the review, like the breakdown. This has always been how my bread's really been buttered at the end of the day. All the other stuff's been extra. So for those people that are wondering how things are kind of formatting under the umbrella, it's like, well, Hip Hop Talks is growing and expanding. And like part of the expansion is obviously Unwrapped is coming soon. But also, getting back to what it is that I love to do, which is music reviews. So
Yeah.
that's
It's
where
going to be a
we
lot of
have.
fun. We're going to be doing them hopefully weekly or weekly-ish, right?
And I want to say this, and this is what I mean about like I'm gonna have to start smoking these dudes. The only people that I really respect that popped off on me on YouTube are the guys that do the haters ball. And here's why. Because one day on an episode of A2HH Live, I literally told them dudes, I'm like, you don't like what I'm saying? I'm like, man, the fuck up. Go get your own podcast. And you know what they did?
They did it.
They didn't just talk shit to me. They actually started their own podcast. So like whenever they call me, I pull up and I show up just about that. Because it's like, no, they're actually the only guys in this space that I've had a debate with that I actually respect because they actually did something when I talk shit to them. Everybody else just been talking shit.
Mm.
Review time. I actually want to hear your thoughts before I share mine about this review too.
Hmm. I really, really, really like it. I really do.
Thank you. And this has been another The Review by Mirror Music under the Hip Hop Talks umbrella. Everybody, have a good night.
Are we going to have an actual debate? This is. I have no idea whether you like it or not. We have not had this conversation. To be clear to everybody watching, we have not had this conversation behind the scenes at all.
When you shared your brief notes in the synopsis of what you thought of the album, and then I got to the album, this is kind of like, I know we were supposed to do a lot. I kind of felt like we should focus on this because I feel like the dialogue we're about to have is about to go a lot of good places, musically and hip hop culture wise, and some of this old head versus new head. Like, there's so many places to take this conversation based on this.
Yep.
In my opinion,
there's lots of stuff going on for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what I actually did. It's like, you know how I roll. Like, most of my notes are already in my head anyway. But based on some things that I think you're going to say, I'm actually going to take some notes to help angle the conversation based on what you say, because I was fascinated by your statement. I think you usually know when I say that means I don't totally agree.
I'm not. I am a little bit surprised that you don't agree, but I mean, it's fine.
I said I don't totally agree because your synopsis. We're going to get into it, but this is why I want to hear your thoughts before I get into it, because I want to hear your perspective on why you sent me the message that you sent me today. Because I very much feel about him some of the way that I feel about J. Cole. It's like, I'm from two places. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm from East Side Atlanta, Georgia, Zone 6. So, Memorial Drive is specifically where I spent a lot of my time, which I believe more or less where he is from too. So very familiar with the area.
I heard there were lots of Atlanta references, very explicitly.
We gonna talk about McAfee. That's East Side shit. Yeah.
The skate one was also there were a lot of really explicit Atlanta things that I've heard you talk about before too.
Skate, that's off Cascade. That's exit 7 on 285. Right. That's kind of what that.
We have had that conversation. I think in the Deontay Hitchcock episodes where we talked about that place specifically, and then it popped up again in one of those songs, and I was like, oh, that's one of the cool parts about this is like now I recognize some of these checkpoints. I'm not an Atlanta person at all, but like I recognize some of that stuff from what you've learned from me, from what I've learned from you.
Yeah, Cascade. That's like, okay, so the Cascade area is kind of where the South Side and the West Side meets. That's where the SWAT start, kind of for a lot of people, and goes down to Campbellton, Ben Hill, East Point.
Right.
Yeah, but and you want to know what? It's funny. My first hot take is actually, before you get rolling, I actually thought of Deontay Hitchcock during moments of this album, and I think these two guys need to get together and do a song that actually crosses.
Yeah, that would be great. Their styles match up pretty well.
Yeah, I think they could do some good Atlanta shit, or just a good record in general. But go ahead and break down.
I want to do this super chat first. The Magic $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. This album is nice with a few skips right now. It's not suppressing the Forever Story. It's not best album of the year so far, but it's definitely one of the best rap albums right now.
Okay.
You have thoughts about that, or are we going to get into that momentarily?
We're going to get into that momentarily. Shout out to Magic, and some of that is proper. Yeah. I do find some of what he says to be proper.
I have, as you know, a lot of notes too, but my notes are mostly like ADHD brain, like so I don't forget stuff, not because I need to like stare at them as I'm going, right? Because I will absolutely forget things. Because I go for walks in the evening before we go live, and I think of stuff as I go. So
okay. Well, I'd like to hear you go for a little.
So here's the thing: like I was not familiar with JID. I mean, I know the name JID. Like I know JID. I know that, but I've not heard really any of the songs before. For those of you who don't know, I am the rock and roll person on Mirror Music, and we debate songs on that platform as well. But so I it's one of those things I knew the name of, but I didn't know any of the music, and so I'm coming to this with like no frame of reference in the past. All right. This is a new thing for me, and I turned it on, and for the first 45 seconds ish, I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm gonna have to cut this off. Like I didn't really, it didn't really land until like the gospel part hit in the first song, and that kind of perked my ear up a little bit. And I can tell you this, that I don't know that I can objectively say this is the best album I've heard this year. I don't know if I can do that. Don't know that I've dug in enough to say that it's objectively the best. But what I can say for sure is that I've listened to it more in the last 36 hours or so than I listened to. I've listened to the Clips album and Freddie's album combined. I can say that for sure. So there's something about it that's landing with me.
No, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I am with it. I think it's really, 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 really good. I do.
Okay, so you're saying your personal preference is that it's better than Alfredo 2 and Let God Sort Him Out. But is that your objective take after
I'm going to have, like, I've been listening to this nonstop for like a day and a half now. I'm going to have to now over the next few days come back and listen to the others again just to recalibrate, right? And see whether this is just a new album, so I'm like obsessed with it because it's brand new or whatever, or if it's like it's a prisoner of the moment thing, or if it's like a really legitimately, I think it's better. What I would say right now is yes, I do think it's better, but I have not gone back and re-listened to the other two.
Okay. I don't agree totally, but I see some of what you're talking about. And it's harder to rate music than ever before. It really is. Because the space is just so open now, and so many artists go so many places and spaces with it. It's harder to rate music than it is before. And I think on the other side of that spectrum, it might be harder to make a classic album than ever before because of that. So, it's no easy feat for somebody with his pedigree, with his cosign, with his lyrical tenacity, with him already have a fairly great album under his belt. I do consider The Forever Story. I don't think it's a classic, but I think it's a pretty great album. I do. As much as I hear some of the stuff that you're saying, because I hear some album of the year type of stuff on this album, and you've already alluded to a couple of the records. It's album, and this is what I keep on talking about, and this is what I kind of want to get back to doing reviews. There's like your best rap albums have your best rap songs sequenced properly, and it kind of like delivers a message or tells you a story or brings you into their world.
Yeah.
And then you have albums that are great because like the songs on them are like there are great songs on them. But that doesn't make them like a classic album. It doesn't make it like complete. It doesn't complete the body of the picture. Having a lot of great songs doesn't really matter as much if the album's too damn long, or if it's not sequenced properly, or if the message gets misconstrued, or if you don't really know what the message of the album is. And so what I'm going to submit to you first is the first thing that I was having trouble connecting with was the title of the album to the actual overall, view of the project, because it's not a murky, muddy project to me. It's not like he's really getting his hands dirty on this project. And so I was kind of expecting that, because here's the thing. The Forever Story is bigger and better than this album, first of all. So this is a step down, in my opinion.
Okay. Like I said, I don't have a frame of reference for it. So this is just
and I guess because, and I don't want to use disappointment as the word, because there's too much dope shit on here for me to say that. But, and this kind of brings me, and we're going to kind of bring it back to Alfredo 2, and something that I talked about on Alfredo 2 when it came to like the album process of it, though. It's like, oh no, Freddie got albums that got better songs on them than Alfredo.
Okay.
Like most of other Freddie's albums that are in the conversation with Alfredo, if you go song for song, those other albums probably beat Alfredo. They don't beat the album feel that Alfredo provides. That's what I keep on telling everybody. There's a
Okay.
difference. Let me tell you the difference. And I realized this today. You'll love this. I want people to really think about this. Illmatic and Ready to Die literally came out like within about 100 days of each other, okay?
Yep.
The legend of Illmatic is bigger than the legend of Ready to Die, even though Big's been gone. Do you want to know why that is?
Why is that?
Because if you actually go song for song, Ready to Die has greater songs. It has more songs and it has greater songs. Like in terms of like, you know, how like that one record may hit.
Mm.
It don't feel the way Illmatic feel as an album, as wonderfully put together as Ready to Die is. You get what I'm saying? And so you have to understand, even for a masterpiece like Ready to Die, and even with Big being gone, the lore of Illmatic is greater because of the quality of that album feel. It matters.
Okay.
There's a difference. No, Ready to Die got a whole lot of great songs on it, like a lot, like almost every song on there.
Right. Sure.
It doesn't have the feel that Illmatic does for as great as Ready to Die feels. It still doesn't. If it did, it would be getting the talk that Illmatic has been getting for pretty much the last 15, 20 years. Because think about it, Big's been gone. Like, not being funny, one of Jadakiss's best and truest bars is, you know, dead rappers get better promotion. That's real shit.
Yeah.
No, that's real.
Yeah, it is.
So the fact that he's been gone and that came out the same year and it's not as revered album-wise as we stand here today, that tells you what you need to know about how the album isn't, it's just more than the songs being great. And so he has a lot of great songs on here. The sequencing to start off this album is poor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of how it starts for sure. Like I think the first song very well might be the weakest.
Okay, so here's what I thought when I heard this, and this is where we're gonna go. And this is what I mean. I kind of wanted to piggyback off you this episode. Kendrick Lamar. Well, Kendrick Lamar is the bar and the barometer for this current generation in terms of the peak that you want to hit. And more than any artist from this era, he has Kendrick capability. You can literally hear it. There were a couple times where he was rapping on this album, and I thought it was Kendrick.
Yeah,
rapping.
me too. Yeah, there are a few moments of that.
And one of the things that Kendrick does, that multi-syllable like vocal inflection thing that Eminem also does extremely well. Well, JID also does that extremely well. Like when you possess the type of traits on the microphone in terms of your linguistics that a Kendrick Lamar and an Eminem share, and we're going to get to the Eminem record, of course. Oh no, you're special on the microphone.
Yeah.
So listen to what I'm about to say. Everybody know you special on the microphone. I don't know why he trying so hard on them first 5, 6 songs to show everybody who he is on the mic. We already know you like super nice with it. Like you don't have, like, I don't know what point he was trying to prove with those records, but I feel like those early records on this album of trying to prove a point of how great he is as an MC actually hurt this project, because that's where the message on this project gets lost. Because when he gets out of that zone, this album gets very zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like some really dope Atlanta shit.
Right.
When he gets out of that proving myself as an Eminem Kendrick type of MC, which we're kind of going to talk about too in terms of where he.
I definitely like the second half of the album better than the first, for sure.
Because that's where that is the bread and the butter of this album. Those.
And I don't dislike the first half, to be clear, but like the second half, I do think is better.
It's not that I don't like those records, is that they are poorly sequenced in my opinion, which goes back to the album making process. That's part of it. Song sequencing structure is part of it. But this is what I mean, message. It's like you're saying God does like ugly. I don't feel any of that message or that theme coming through in those first few records to grab me, to tell me that it's the album of the year, you know? It doesn't provide you with that. That's part of the album making thing.
Let's hit this super chat too. My Mere Thoughts, $10 super chat. Thank you. Respectfully, the JID album isn't sonically in the same league as Let God Sort 'Em Out or Alfredo 2.
I agree.
Elite rapping. I do agree with the sonically part. It's elite rapping that doesn't stick to the ribs. Maybe it's his voice.
We're going to get to all of those things too, but that's why I brought up Kendrick and Eminem, is that, well, I think he has a lot of Kendrick and a lot of Eminem in him, except for he's not having Kendrick and Eminem type of output. Has in, so let's go back to the intro record. I immediately thought of Kendrick when I heard this intro, and I'm like, well, no, when you're gonna do an intro like this, it gotta be like DNA.
Yeah.
Like it gotta
But
slap.
I wanted that intro after I've listened to it a few times to leave off the first like minute of it and just go boom, 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 and start into the first verse. I think that would have been a better way to start it out.
Well, that's another thing too. It feels very mixtape-ish because sometimes on those early records, it doesn't feel like he's digging in till he's already rapping for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Look here, it's 2025. You up here making 4, 5, 6-minute songs and rapping for 2 minutes nonstop. And this is what I mean. If you're gonna do that, no, it needs to be Kendrick on DNA. It needs to be Lil Wayne on Oh No off the Carter too. Like it needs to be like a spaz rhyme fest where people are like, oh no, but he just went so ballistic. That you know what I mean? That it's almost like, no, he went too crazy on there. And some of that I think does kind of go back to another point of mine where I don't think it's album of the year. It's like production is solid on this project. The best production on this album is the old school Atlanta inspired shit. When he gets in his old school Atlanta bag, he's as good as it gets. This is executive production to me. All of those early records, I don't know if you notice this, it's not until the Clips record that the tempo slows down and evens out. It's almost like on those early tracks, the producers are fighting with him to keep pace with him. Listen to what I'm about to say. The saving grace of this album is whoever was listening slowed down the tempo, and that's why the second half of the album is better.
Okay.
The tempo, the actual BPMs.
Right. I know what you mean.
Because part of what got me so excited about this project was listening to him on Gold Feet, on Alfredo too. He spazzed on Gold Feet. It's one of the best. It's one of the top 5 verses of the year, in my opinion. His verse on Gold Feet is one of the top 5 verses of the year, in my opinion. But I was listening to the production, and I was like, if you give him stuff like that to skate on, he's about to wreck shop. And I don't feel like they gave him enough of that, like that low-key 808 bass line, but slow it down for him because he raps so fast. It's got to be the balance that I keep talking about, where you meet the artist in the middle instead of trying to match what the artist is doing with the, like he rapped like this, da 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 da. So I don't want to hear the beat go da da da. No, I don't want to hear that at the same time. Like, what is this? This isn't rock and roll. So
maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know.
I thought that might be part of it too, because it has a rock and roll appeal to it at the beginning of the album, I think stylistically and acoustically. But like as far as like on some rap shit though, it's like, no, slow that shit down so I can hear how nice he is. Because you can't really hear how nice he is through all that rapping fast over fast beats. But when he slows it down on the stuff like Skate, the record with Clips, oh my God, Malice. Malice is the MC of the year right now. That might be the first
that's one of my notes too. Like that,
he's
like
MC.
that's one of the things I was going to ask you later on in the show is whether an album can be qualified for album of the year when you don't have the best verse on your own album.
Well, that's the verse of the year right now, in my opinion. I was going to get to that. So that was my next hot take. Malice's verse on the Clips record is the best verse that I've heard this year. I think it's better than everything on that God Sort Him Out and Alfredo too, as well.
It is. Like, I'm glad to hear confirmation of what I thought when I first heard that. I was like, oh my God, oh. And I don't have that reaction. Like, those of you who have watched me talk for a long time know that I don't usually listen to the lyrics the first time I listen to a project. And I just listen to the like sonics in the beat and like see if they grab my attention before I like really dig in to the lyrics. And that verse caught me the first time I heard it. And it's really interesting too. This is a little bit of a sidebar. Coop, are you there? Okay. This is a little bit of a sidebar, but it's really interesting to be having this conversation because I'm looking through the chat and it's split pretty evenly between people who are saying, and the comments that I saw earlier when Sean posted the poll earlier about what you thought about the JID album too. They were split. There were a lot of people that were in the 8.5 range, and a lot of people that were in like the 5, 6, 6.5 kind of range too. And it's split. So it's interesting that the two commentators here on screen have similar split opinions as well. I don't know what happened to Coop. I think probably somebody tried to call him. So I'm going to sit here and babble while we figure out those technical difficulties. Terrence Hill, $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Glory is my favorite song on the album. Yeah, that's a great song too, I think.
Okay, so Glory is the only song for those early songs where I'm like, okay, he hit with that one. That's the one record of the early records. I don't know what happened either. Like, you actually went out on my side and I couldn't see you, so I just went ahead and jumped out.
Could everybody in the thing see me? Like,
no,
is it
fine? I think usually if I'm having issues over here on this side because it's been raining all week, it's usually you'll go out and that lets me know that I've gone out and I'm the one that people can't see.
Yeah.
But yeah, Glory is one of the better Glory's the best record on the first half of the album. Like every record from the Clips record on is better than everything before it, pretty much in my opinion.
I will give you that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, then it can't be album of the year. Like you can't start your album of the year claim on track 6 or 7.
That's what 4. The Clips one's like 4, isn't it? Or 3?
No, it's like 6. It's like record number 6. That's what I mean. The Eminem record is like record number 3.
What's the Eminem? You keep saying that. I must be missing something. What's the Eminem record?
It's like literally record number 2 or 3. I would pull it up, but I don't have anything in front.
What are we looking at the same thing? Like
the JID's album?
Yeah, what I'm looking at, Community's 4th, and is there an Eminem song on there? I don't know that. I don't know if there is one that if there's an Eminem song in there. There's not one that I've heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on, Andrew.
Okay, maybe he's listening to like a deluxe version. Yeah, probably a deluxe version because we're talking about a different thing. And okay, the Illmagic. Thank you for the $5 super chat, sir.
Yes,
he says that's
Animals
the deluxe
Part
version.
1, track number 4. Yeah, Animals Part 1, track 4.
Okay, so yeah, that was they're saying that's the deluxe version, which is not something that I've heard. So I don't know.
On. This is Coop. I only do deluxe. I don't do small stuff. What's up?
I didn't even know until right now at 10:30 p.m. on August the 9th that there was a deluxe version. So
yeah, that's all I listen to. We only do deluxe.
Okay. So this is a further twist to our review is that
so how many records you got on your regular version?
15.
I got 19, so I need to hear the record.
Yeah, 19 would be too many.
That's too damn many. That's part of my problem. It's too damn many. It's rapping too much. This is me. I love me some rapping ass rapper. He is rapping way too much on here.
Okay.
It's a lot of rapping.
So it's good. It's good to have just to clarify that we're talking about two different things. Then, because
well, I mean, we're talking about 4 records. I want to know what 4 records they are. Because if you haven't heard the Eminem record, it's like my Eminem record is actually like one of the problems with the album because it's like, well, the record is great because they have moments of greatness on there, but the record really doesn't do anything or go anywhere. And that's what I mean. It's record number 4 on my deluxe version. So I'm like, this is the tone we set, and it's like I don't know where the album's going. I hear you all rapping your ass off, but I just don't know where the album is going with this record.
Okay, what I have on mine is You Ugly is first, Glory is second. You got the track list in front of you, so you can
hold on. I'm about to pull it up. Go ahead. No,
okay, we have You Ugly first, Glory second, WRK third, Communities 4th, GZ is 5th, VCR is 6th, Skate is 7.
Okay, so hold on. Let me tell you how the deluxe version goes. You're missing the first 4 records that I have, and my first 4 records are the problem.
Okay. That would be the
So
difference then.
then that would be the difference in what we're talking about. So now, if we're talking about just the regular version of the album, then yes, this is a definite album of the year contender if we're going by that measure.
Wow. Okay. So now we're on the same
Yeah.
page.
Now we're more on the same page. This is why I wanted to talk to you too, because when you told me that you thought this was the album of the year contender, I was like, not the way this shit started.
Yeah. If this has 4 mediocre songs before that, then
I wouldn't call them mediocre, but it's just
or not on the
now I'm
level of the
understanding.
rest of them.
Well, here's the thing that I was just thinking. It's like, who the hell starts there? I always thought if you deluxe something, you put the deluxe records at the end, not at the beginning, so you can actually set the tone for your album still. Like, and then you let people know the deluxe records, and you executive production.
Magic says, thank you for the $5, sir. It must have just dropped today because those songs were already released on an EP before the album. So it must have been like EP then album, like as released all in one big package, which
EP
maybe is not the right way to go.
The EP was not good, if that's the case. Okay, the EP's not good. You scrap that deluxe and just roll with regular.
So you're saying, I've not seen the deluxe edition, but you're saying the deluxe edition or pre-lux or whatever the people in the chat said it was, has 4 songs before You Ugly. Is that what we're saying? Okay,
correct.
So when I was talking about the first song and the first whatever, now you know this. Now you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one with Westside. That's the one to be the first one.
Okay, so I've always been this way about starting off albums too. Most great albums from great rappers, the first record, their record, nobody else on the record. I don't want to hear you start off your album with somebody else. I don't want to hear nobody else.
I didn't really like that either. No.
I don't want to hear nothing. Let me hear who you are. Let me hear where this album's going.
That's why I was saying then. Now it probably makes more sense that now that you have that context. I wanted them to lose all of the West Side stuff at the beginning and just have it go boom, 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 boom and start into that verse. Because like I missed the first verse the first time I heard the album, which was actually a pretty good verse, like the first verse of You Ugly. But like, I mean, not relative to the rest of the album, but like it was better. Like I had tuned out really because of all the other mess that was happening before. And I was like, am I really going to listen to all of this? And it wasn't until it got past the first verse where I like my brain clicked on again. So
record ain't that good.
It's my least favorite of the album, personally. Like,
record ain't that good. It's not that good. Okay, so now that we've kind of like reset the template in the bar, let's get into some nuances about why this still isn't the album of the year for me, though.
Okay.
Now that you're saying this, it still doesn't have the moments that I feel like the Forever Story has. It doesn't have a crack sandwich on it.
Okay. Like again, I have no context for this, so I'll have to go back.
No, I know, and you really
too and see.
I would hearken the Forever Story. I believe I put you on to Isaiah Rashad's "The House Is Burning," right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's really
as an album. I find the Forever Story and Isaiah Rashad's "The House Is Burning" to be almost identical in terms of the level that they operate on and the comparability of quality of the record.
I'll go back to that then.
Really high, really high quality. If not for the whole Magic KD2 thing, I feel like Isaiah Rashad had the album of the year that year. That's how good The House Is Burning is. Forever Story, similar story. Mm-hmm. So this is still a step down in my opinion. But now that we're removing those pre-lux or deluxe or whatever the fuck that is, it is more nuanced now. And it is more Atlanta now. Yeah. Because I was wondering why those records were the way they were. It's still not a wise idea to start off with a Griselda track or, or Griselda's
West Side one, yeah.
It's still sending the wrong message to start an album.
That was not my favorite, no.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, if you're starting off an album, 2 of your first, 3 records have features? Because you're telling me West Side is on the first song, and I believe that would make the Clips on the third song.
Yeah. Clips are fourth. It's fourth. And the 2 in the middle, the 2 next ones don't have features. But
Yeah, but it's still early enough in this game for him that it's like, no, I want to hear you get on your album shit, because now that you're saying that, it's like, well, the sequencing got better for me, but it's
Mm,
still kind of like a little bit of a problematic start, because when we started this conversation, I was like, it really don't get started for me until the Clips record. Well, if you're telling
mhm.
me that's the fourth record on
Yeah.
here, right?
It's better than the
That
7th, but yes, sure.
that would make it record number 8 where I started. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so even getting started for me at the album picking up steam at track number 4 is still too late, because that's where the
Yeah.
album picks up steam. The album actually picks up steam when the beat slows down.
Mm. I don't disagree with you at all in that part. I think I like the beginning songs better than you do, but I do think it gets better as it goes, for sure.
Do you find this album to be more appealing to you because it taps into more of a traditional hip hop format of beats and rhymes that you like, without all the maybe gangster talk and bravado and drug dealing references that come with Let God Sort 'Em Out and Alfredo too? Like, this
I don't
album
want to
isn't
I don't
littered
want to
with
people
that.
come I don't want to come on here and have people hear me say that I don't like those other 2 albums. Like, I
No,
do
no,
like
no.
both of them too, but
I'm not that.
it's I'm trying to figure out what I can say for sure is that it was more replayable for me. Like, I wanted to listen to it over and over again. Like, so something connected in it that the other 2, where I can appreciate the craft of them, I did not feel the same, like, compelled to listen to them over and over again.
So I think he might strike a chord with a fan base that is more partial for our generation. He might strike a chord with the fan base
Mm,
that is more along the lines of maybe listening to a Tribe Called Quest, a De La Soul, The
okay.
Roots, a Most Def, a Common.
You
He
know
might
those are all my favorites, right? Like, I mean, those
correct.
just
I think
lined
he
up there.
does. I think so. I think what's going on and why you're putting it above Alfredo 2 and above Let God Sort 'Em Out for your listening ear is because musically and aesthetically he falls more in line with traditionally what made you fall in love with hip hop in terms of
Yeah.
the artists that you're geared towards. And this is what I mean about how, well, it's as hard to rate an album
Mhm.
as it's ever been, because we can have these conversations where you're like, well, I think that has more replay value, but you're
But that's
probably
me,
one of
right? That's me. That's like my ear, right? So
well,
so
well, well,
that's like, I fully accept that that's not an objective measure. I'm just saying that that's what my ear says to me, and that's what I like listening to. So,
I feel like there's this divide that started to happen that nobody ever talked about.
mhm,
There was a time when the Low End Theory got made where people thought the Low End Theory might be the best rap album that they ever
mhm,
heard. And then the Chronic came out not too far after it. And just the scale of the Chronic kind of changed the scope
mhm,
of a classic rap album sound. It wasn't a minimalist boom bap sound anymore. And so I think what we have is a divide where it's like, well, what Let God Sort 'Em Out is more in the vein of the Chronic, in terms of
okay,
the scale of how it's put together and done. And that still does attract people's attention more than the minimalist tendencies that a JID echoes, which is closer
mhm,
to a Tribe or
yeah.
Roots,
Those of you who
artistically
have
speaking.
listened to me talk about music for
Or
however
even
many years now know that I am more attracted to minimalist-ish kind of music of all genres, like stripped back, acoustic, live, like that kind of vibe is what attracts my attention for sure.
so
And I didn't
so
really think of this album, the JID album, as being that way, really. But I guess I can see where you're going with that.
the genealogy on like some of these trees has changed so much because of how the artist and how the music has changed. And so
Mhm,
it's like, well, you could tie him back to Kendrick, but then you can start tying Kendrick back to some of these guys and so on and so forth.
mhm,
Stylistically and linguistically, what he does, I will say this, this would be the second generation that Eminem has impacted the culture via an MC being great, stylistically doing a
Mhm.
lot of the things that Eminem implored, that quite frankly, a lot of people in black music don't like. But we have two black artists right now that are thriving in their respective eras doing it in Kendrick and now JID. And so we
Mhm.
do need to take note and account of that because you, you know, Eminem comes off the Red Man tree, but Red
Right.
Man kept shit so rap, you know,
Mhm.
and Eminem did flip it and do something different with it. And Kendrick and JID are the benefactors of
Right.
that, and so he has influenced styles for some big artists, and that
Mhm.
needs to be noted
For
because
sure.
I hear Eminem's influence on
Yeah. There is some
JID.
in there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear the Kendrick and the Eminem influence more than anything else. But here's the thing with this album: as much as I love these records, this is the objective part of me. Do I love these records a little bit more because I know exactly what he's talking about, where he's talking about, and how he's talking? Like when he's talking on McAfee, oh,
Yeah.
that's Blood Gang territory. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It wasn't that when I was a kid, but it is now. So when he's talking about the gang shit on, you know what I mean? It's like, oh no,
Right.
if you know the city, it's like, oh no, that's blood territory right there. You know, and
Mhm.
also it's kind of funny. If you go listen to some of Gunners and Lil Baby's project, oh, they talk about being up on McAfee too.
Mhm.
So that's, so that's what I mean. It's like, oh no, I know the area, I know the neighborhood, I know what he's talking about. I feel it more because of that. Oh, that's home to me, or second home, or first home,
Right.
depending on how I move back and forth between the two. So the relatability to it for me is high. Like when
Mhm.
when Skate comes on, I'm like, oh, you talking about the skating rink on Cascade? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I already know. So it's like I have to be mindful about the fact that I know when I'm auditing the review, it's like, oh no, this shit might be harder to me because Atlanta native, East
Mhm.
Side native, understand exactly where some of these influences and these tones and even some of these bass lines are coming from. It's some Atlanta shit. So it's like I know it, so I feel it, I enjoy it. He's a great rapper. Is it
You think
objectively
you think
better?
you're being harder on it because you're trying to be objective?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm always going to be harder on you when you're super talented. So part of me
Yeah.
being hard on him is about the quality of the album that he made the previous time around, how great I think he is as an MC. And yes, I am going to be harder on you because you're from the neighborhood and I think you're great. And he is one of the better MCs of this new generation. He is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd never heard of him. I never heard him rapping before, and he very clearly has serious skills. Like it's
High level. That's what I mean. He's not that's why I didn't like those deluxe records like that. I'm like, what point are you trying to prove? It's like everybody know you nice. Everybody know you nice.
mm,
Everybody. Everybody. Think about it. You just made Gibbs and Al's album. You know what
yep.
I'm saying?
And Clips
Yeah.
is on here too, right? Like
Yeah. Like Cole's co-signs you. Like, yeah,
yeah.
like you nice. Like I'm trying to think of somebody under 30 that lyrically is better than him, and I don't have anybody for you.
Mhm.
I don't have anybody lyrically better than him under 30 right now, I
I
think.
haven't heard anybody.
So he liked that,
Mhm.
and so when you like that, oh no, I'm gonna need the album to be like that, fam. That's the
Mhm.
expectation, is it not?
I mean,
You
it
nice
should be.
like
Yes,
that.
I think it is like that. But like,
Yeah, you
um,
nice like
but I think the album's that good too. Like, I do think that it's better than, and we're both coming at it from different biases, right? Like,
Mhm.
you're, I was a little bit surprised that you didn't like it as much as I did because it's very clearly an Atlanta. And like even I recognize some of the checkpoints that he's talking about because of conversations with you, right? Like, so I knew having without having talked to you about it that it would touch those points, right?
Yes, it touches those points for me, but that might be the problem with the album because here's what I mean is that you have to touch. We're gonna go back to Kendrick. Let's go to Good Kid, Mad City. Although it touches the cornerstone and the points of everything that is the LA, Inglewood, Compton, Watts, South Central,
Mhm.
Los Angeles area. No, you feel that and you hear that, and it very much sounds like that. But there is something about the message of it that resonates no matter what hood you're from. And that's what I think this album is missing. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh no, the Atlanta greatness in it is all over it. The niggas in Compton gonna feel that way about it. Niggas in Brooklyn, Chicago, Detroit, Houston. That's the next level.
Right.
He's
And we're
talented
seeing in the
enough.
comments that it's not, or at least for the people talking to us, like,
Right.
and
He exactly. And I'm clear on that. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I keep using the Kendrick reference, because that's really the arena and the territory and the space that he's trying to step into and to operate on. And he's talented like that, although maybe not as talented as very few people have been as talented as Kendrick Lamar. So I'm not saying he's supposed to be Kendrick, but I am saying that there is a level when you are as great as he is already, and we need to start measuring him by that greatness. And so that's really what I'm doing with this project. I'm measuring him by the fact that I very much know that he's great. He's already made a great album as an MC. More often than not, when he hits the microphone, I hear a stellar mic performance. So because of that, I'm going to rate you like that when it's album time. And so how about this? If this is the album that people were to get introduced to him on, I would probably rate it a notch higher, which is what I think you're doing, because this is your first time getting acquainted with him. So you're super fucking impressed. And you should be if this is your first time hearing him. Not my first time hearing him. Not my first year hearing him, not my second or third year hearing him. And so my expectations are different because of that, but only because I know he's great. And this album still has greatness to it. I just don't know how the greatness translate outside of that Atlanta area and feel, oh, this shit gonna bang down here. It already is, I'm pretty certain.
yeah.
hmm But I'm just not sure how that resonates and translate in that next level of greatness is when the project that you make represents your hood, but it resonates and translates and goes further.
Yeah.
Even for albums in this city, think Southern Playalistic Cadillac music, think trap music, think Thug Motivation 101. It's like, oh no, it's very Atlanta, but translated because of the greatness of the album. The greatness of the album transcends where you're from. I'll never forget one of my older brothers. This is maybe 20, 25 years ago. I can remember when I first moved back down here from Carolina. And my brother was just telling me, niggas in the trap in Atlanta was playing Illmatic all the time. You know, he's like, oh no, he's like, we played that every day till the tape broke, because it's like, no, it's some New York shit, it's some Queen shit, but it translated, it resonated. It's like, oh no, it sounds like my hood too.
Mm.
This album, I think, is missing that, and that's, and that is part of, the next step for him. And I do just feel like production wise, and not fair to the producers, because it's like, well, you're messing with Pharrell, messing with Alchemist, so but
Yeah, two of the
production,
very best for sure.
yeah, some of the very best, but production wise, just not as good.
And there's a bunch of different producers on this one too, right?
There is. I haven't had time to go through all of them, but it's not, it's not
just one guy.
It's not, the production's not as good. That's another thing that comes with having somebody as lyrically tenacious as him. The beats. You got to be a little bit more selective, because I'll tell you what, no, Eminem has that issue because of how he raps, the beat selection, the type of beats that are chosen to keep up with his pace and all that. And so there needs to be more of like a happy medium as he finds himself, but he's still great. This is still a great project. It's definitely, my early synopsis is that, especially now that we've got this whole Prelux thing out the way, I definitely feel more comfortable placing it at third in terms of my album of the year, but not ahead of Alfredo 2 or Let God Sort Him Out.
I think all three of them are in the same. For me, they're in the same kind of high eights kind of range for me.
I'm gonna have to listen to this again before I give it an 8. Like I feel like the Alfredo 2 is an 8.5 ish, maybe higher. It's staying with me, man. That's what I mean about those records. Let's go to the album thing. I picked Alfredo 2 over Let God Sort 'Em Out. I understand the records on Let God Sort 'Em Out are bigger and they're bolder. I'm going to always roll with staying power when I'm picking an album. And so when I'm still listening to Gold Feet and Gas Station Sushi and Ensalada, and I'm listening to these records, I'm like, no, I was like, I'm about to be playing these records for a long time.
Yeah.
Feeling with Larry June, that's a whole vibe, man.
It
That's a
is.
vibe.
I can't argue with that right there. That's
Man, you got a sunroof, Andrew? You got a drop top or anything?
I do actually. Not a whole drop top, but yeah, I do have a sunroof. Yeah.
Man, put the sunroof back and cut that shit on, man. Ride to that. You know what I'm saying?
The Larry June stuff is like, yeah,
It's a vibe.
That's
the whole thing. And so that's my thing is the songs holding. I hear a lot of dope stuff on here. I don't know how much these songs are going to hold outside of Atlanta, the South. You know, I know he gets other traction because of his affiliations and his connections, and I hope that helps him and benefits him in that regard. We're going to see how this album builds steam, but tentatively have it at third right now.
We have a super chat from Il Magic. Thank you, man. $10. JID's work seems to be influenced by Killer Mike's Michael album, characterized by its Atlanta vibe, music, choir, and thematic content. However, he sometimes misses the target.
This album feels more Atlanta than the Killer Mike album to me, if we're being honest.
Yeah, me too.
This feels
you're the Atlanta person, right? Like, I dated a girl there when I was in college, so that's my only frame of reference for Atlanta. But
this album feels more authentic Atlanta than that for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. But like, obviously, I'm not the expert of that particular thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
What else you got for me, Coach?
We talked about Skate. We talked about that. Do you take off points for the number of features he has on here?
That crossed my mind. Okay, so here's where I'm at with something like that. I'm not going to dock points for the guest features, but I am going to give bonus points for people who do the solo mission. And we talked about this too with the Freddie nod. It's like, well, Freddie's not in a duo and didn't have as many guest appearances as the Clips. Like, think about that. The guest appearances are Anderson .Paak, Larry June, JID.
Yep.
Clips album got Nas, Kendrick, Stevie Wonder, Prince, Michael Jackson, Barry White, Quincy Jones, Count Basie, Duke Ellington, everybody on the damn Clips album. My auntie played the piano on it. Like, everybody's on there. Like, everybody's on that project. No, like, for real. Like, that's part of why Alfredo 2 is better than me. It's like, no, Freddie, just like, give me the mic, man. I got this. That's what your best rappers do. Like, your best rappers are going to have albums where they have a lot of features. Our greatest rappers, go look at their catalog. Usually their best albums don't have a lot of features.
Yeah.
Because they're soloists.
It's interesting too. This is, don't pull out of this context a ton, but the feature thing is not really a rock thing at all. You don't see that very often. Like, it's the bands, it's the artists. Like, you don't have a whole lot of like guest appearances on.
Well, you got a band,
right? Exactly. So there's like, that's what that collaboration is. And I'm not trying to like demean or like, it's just a point of reference. Like, so I am not used to using the number of features or using the number of like other people participating as one of the ways to evaluate an album. Does that make sense? Like, it's not something that I would calculate into my criteria necessarily.
Okay, so this is a guest appearance to me in a nutshell. So, you have an album. You have Kendrick Lamar on there. It's the biggest artist of this generation. One of the greatest MCs of all time. You have Nas on this album, who is one of the greatest MCs, if not the greatest MC who ever lived. You have Stove God Cooks on this album, who has literally been the hottest dude in the streets in rap for about 4 or 5 years now.
Mm.
The fact that you had those three free features, and this is for everybody who thinks Let God Sort Them Out is better. The fact that you had those three features, and we having a conversation about Alfredo 2 being comparable to it is why Alfredo 2 is better. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
That's why it's not a conversation for me. It's like, hold on, you had Kendrick in full toe, you had Nas in full toe, you had Stove in full toe, you had the Louis Vuitton house to yourself for pretty much 2 years. And we having a conversation about the albums, yeah, Freddie. It's not that hard for me at that point. That's what makes it easy for me at this point, because those moments should have separated the albums, and they didn't, which means Freddie made the better album because he did comparable things without the assistance.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how about this? So how about this? Oh, Akeem's 2 rings like 4 rings to me because of who he played with or who he didn't play with. Akeem's rings look like 4 rings to me. All rings not created equal. He don't have no Hall of Famers on that first team, and he only has one on the second team. And that Hall of Famer had declined some. And he still won a ring with him after he declined some. That's not 27 point a game Clyde Drexler. That's 21, 22 point a game Clyde Drexler. Still won a ring with him. So not all things are created equal out here in this space.
I'm trying to, and I guess my pushback would be that I'm just following my ear, man. Like I don't like. It's hard for me to, because you have more frame of reference than I do, right? Like you have lived in hip hop land for many more years than I do. You and Sean and AG, all three of you have forgotten more about hip hop music this week than I've ever known in my whole life. So like, I don't have the same frame of reference.
I wouldn't say that at this point. I wouldn't say that at this point, but I hear you.
What I'm saying is that I don't have that background. So all I can do is tell you what I hear, right? And so I'm not scoring them necessarily in my head anyway based on like how difficult a climb they had to do the thing, right? Like, I mean, obviously from what you've described, the Clips had a better, like, had all the things set up for them, right? In a way that Freddie didn't.
First of all,
am I saying that right?
Yes, but no, because first of all, I do want to be fair and balanced. First of all, when you have Alchemist producing your whole album, you're not missing much. Like as an artist, it's like you got Alchemist in tow, so you're not gonna, you're gonna have a lot of shit,
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like Freddie's sitting over here like bare or devoid.
Yeah.
But this is a Kendrick feature at Kendrick's Zenith.
Mm-hmm.
This is a soul feature. So like, no, it's supposed to put some nails in the coffin with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying the Clips album should be far and away the best album of the year, given the amount of other people participating.
Correct. Correct. For everything that it is, and for all the hoopla and the rollout and the features and the talk and the interviews and all that. Yeah, it's like I need to be a 9.5, not 8.5. Maybe at 8.5. And I want to say this. I'm a bigger fan of Clips than I am of Freddie. That's what I mean about it being objective. Anybody knows me knows I'm a big Clips fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Alfredo 2 is better. It just is. It's gonna hold up longer too.
Yeah.
Book it.
I had them when we did the Gibbs thing. I told you it was a coin flip for me. Like I would say that they're not equivalent because they're both doing very different things, but they are roughly equivalent. And respectfully, I think JID is a step above that to me right now. I mean, I'll have to go back and listen to the other two, but
okay. So when you're saying it's a step above, well, I don't think his mic performance is better than Malice's mic performance on Let God Sort Him Out. And production-wise, definitely not messing with Alchemist on Alfredo too. Alchemist is producer of the year right now too. Malice is MC of the year. Alchemist is producer of the year.
That I will give you. Yes, absolutely.
Alfredo 2 is album of the year. Malice has verse of the year on JID's album. Malice is the MC of the year. I don't know if he's the artist of the year. That might go to Freddie because of Alfredo 2 right now. But he's the MC of the year. Malice has the verse of the year. He's the MC of the year. He's the co-conspirator.
That I do agree with.
Album of the year.
Yeah.
but it's still
Malice is the guy right now.
Yeah, Malice that dude right now. How about this? I had a legit thought when I heard that verse today. I was like, I need to stop being so hard on these rappers taking all this time off. Maybe some of you motherfuckers need a break.
He's got some stuff stored up, doesn't he?
Okay, so last scene when he was really, really active before, I think the spiritual changes started like interfering with the traditional rap process he was bred on.
Yeah.
Oh, last heard when he was really active on Hell Hath No Fury, he was just as good as Pusha T.
Yeah, that's what you've told me.
He's the better rapper on Lord Willin', and him and Push is neck and neck on Hell Hath No Fury, and that's their manifesto.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he starts off. He says, "My ghetto's not your culture. People really die here." Like that. I was like, "Oh, that was one of those first lines in the album that kind of blew me back a little bit."
You know who? You want to know who he kind of? You know who he sounds like to me? This is going to seem crazy. This is the level he's operating on. He is saying things that the Jizza was saying on Liquid Swords in terms of the level that he's operating on. He's saying Liquid Swords.
Yeah, he is.
Liquid Swords level type of lyricism going on. It's really, really high. People need to pay attention to that. It's like I may not have them at Album of the Year, but I have him so incredibly high. He's literally making me start to change how I'm thinking about rappers taking a break. It's like, if you're going to take a break and sound like this, this is more of an appropriate template in Rakim, Kendrick, Nas for how you should sound when you come back onto the microphone, because
he's killing
sounds
everything.
as good as he's ever sounded. Everything. And this is what I mean about being Jizza-like. And kind of rock him like in this sense. He's not cursing.
Nope.
Right. He doing this without literally the fuckery.
Yeah.
Like literally without.
You don't need it. He doesn't anyway. Need it. Like he's not
nice with it, right?
But the Jesus Shuttleworth Nasir line too was another one of those that like jumped off the page. Like
crazy.
Like the cadence of it's incredible. I mean, he's obviously doing the only way to get out of the ghetto is playing basketball and rapping. Like he's pointing that out, right? That's doing that serious.
Point God or rap God. Yeah, point God or rap God. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got kilos in the line before, which is the third way, right? So it's like, I mean,
that goes back to the Biggie line on Things Done Changed, because the streets is the shortstop. Either you're slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. That's how Ready to Die starts off. Well, second verse.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got it. You want to know what I will say? This very slow and depressing year has rounded itself out to some interesting things in the past 30 days. I will say that.
Yeah, that's why I opened the show with like, are we going to have I think we have, but you don't think we have, that we have the third new possible album of the year conversation in the last 3 weeks basically, or 4 weeks. And I know you don't think it is, but the fact that we can even have that conversation and you're only rolling your eyes at me a little bit instead of a whole lot is
well, how about this? How about this? If we could just make the short and the long of it, the production's not good enough for it to be the album of the year. And it really doesn't have anything to do with him or the records at the end of the day. The production's not good enough to be album of the year because Pharrell and Alchemist just showed out.
Is that because of the names, or is it because of the actual production? Like I don't have an ear for production on these kind of things yet.
This is what I mean about him having some Eminem problems. People gotta still want to kind of like ride with you to your beats. That's why I like him on Gold Feet so much. That shit got bounce to it. And he's bouncing all over it.
Yep.
He is skating on that record. That probably the best beat.
Yeah.
So how about this? Oh, well, his best mic performance this year? Best beat he rapped on this year is Gold Feet. Right. Yeah. That's where I'm not gonna hold him totally hostage for him not having the album of the year, because if we really like parsing it out, at the end of the day, it falls more on the production side than the MC side.
Okay.
Because he showed on Gold Feet, it's like, oh no, give me some shit. Watch what.
Yeah.
So he's got it. It's there. It's still a verse of the year contender. Until the Malice verse, I kind of had it low key as my verse of the year. I thought it might be my verse of the year.
It's really, really, really good.
It's really good. It's insidious. I'm in Italy.
That rhyming, like how those words fit together, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's like most dudes can't do that. Like most dudes'
It's
thought
hilarious that we're
process
talking about the two verses of the year contenders being each of their verses on the
on
other's
a person's album.
right? Like
This
the
might be the murdered you on your own shit verse of the year. You know, like everybody's best verse might be on somebody else's shit. Like think about it. Nas's verse this year is on the Ray album. That's why I mean we've got a lot of good stuff the last month. We got the Ray's hot. Ghost about to come. We still got stuff to go through. Tyler, Rock Marcy and Preem, Metro, Gunna.
Yep.
I just missed the Metro event. I actually was down on the list to go, but I had tickets to the Falcons game prior to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to listen to the Metro one all the way through. I have some. We have discussed briefly behind the scenes about Tyler's too. We'll get into that more in the appropriate episode. We have one more super chat here from My Mere Thoughts. Thank you, man. $5. Coop makes a logical argument for Freddie, but the culture has already declared a winner for album of the year. Clips are the 2025 MVPs.
So this is so it's funny if it happens like that, I'm gonna be okay with it, and this is why. In 2006, they were on the other end of this coin where they actually did make the rap album of the year with Hell Hath No Fury, and they got handed to everybody but them that year. Yeah. So if they get it this time around, that's kind of like Nas winning the Grammy for King's Disease. It's like, you know, it's too late, but it ain't too little. So
right. They still deserve the recognition, and I'm not mad at that being an album of the year. Like that's fine. Like it's not a wild and unreasonable thing to say.
I'm talking about right now, like an 8.5 versus an 8. I'm not like talking like this album's a 6.
We're not talking about doing the Rolling Stones having the Grammy for the best rock album in the year of our Lord 2025.
Like if you are telling me Let God Sort 'Em Out is your album of the year, you have a lot of credible evidence. But this is what I mean about how I'm gonna smoke everybody. Explain to me why we having this conversation with a fucking Nas Kendrick verse and a stove hook. Fuck we even having this conversation? Right. We're not supposed to be having that conversation with that type of shit on the table. I'm clear on that. So give me Freddie.
Do you in a vacuum, forget all that other stuff. Do you like Freddie's album? You like Freddie's album better, just period, right? Now forget the context, forget the other people on the table, forget all that other shit. Like, do you like it better? You do like it better, right?
I do. So here's another thing that I like too. There's something, even if you feel like he's telling the truth or not, there's something that feels viscerally honest about Freddie's material on this album.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does a good job of being honest with you, even if it's, I think somebody on YouTube said this when they were in our comments, lower self type of reflections. Like that's what I meant about that yin and the yang with the Kendrick. Right. It's like, oh, you want them higher self reflections. It's like, well, most people don't operate in their higher self. Most people operate in their lower self. So Freddie speaks to more what goes on with the everyday black man than Kendrick does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously can't speak to that. So,
you know, like bougie ass black people love Kendrick is what I'm trying to say, Andrew. Like elitist black people love Kendrick. It's like those people, a lot of those people don't even know who the fuck Freddie is. You feel me? Yeah. But they'll swear by Kendrick. And that's because they don't want to associate with the lower self of their own black
acknowledge that it's there.
Yeah, they don't want to acknowledge that it's there. That's why I'd be like, no, you're going to take this crack, motherfucker. Take this crack. Yeah, you're not going to deny. You're not going to deny. You're not Peter out this motherfucker.
Yeah, I have a super chat. Ill Magic, $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. People are already holding GNX as album of the year, and Clips is the best rap album of the year. That's
GNX came out last year.
Yeah, but for the Grammy cycle, it would be in this.
Oh, as far as the Grammy cycle, he's going to take home everything. But as far as 2025,
and I'm not. I don't want to be. Well, not like Us would have been the year before, right? But like but GNX would have been.
See,
GNX was what, November?
Yeah, so this is what I mean about the scale of things, though. GNX wasn't the rap album of the year last year, but it was the biggest.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best.
It was absolutely the biggest, for sure.
It was the biggest, wasn't the best.
Right.
How many of those Kendrick records are you hearing getting played right now?
I'm not hearing any, but like.
That's what I mean. And that's what I mean about that misstep. We're not releasing Chains and Whips in proper time. Chains and Whips should have a platinum certification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you put that along with the ride for all the other Not Like Us and all that
like,
whole.
Like, how about this?
Yeah.
Drop it a month after GNX. Drop it in December. Drop it for Christmas. Drop it on New Year's. Like, premiere the song New Year's Day. Clips album on the way. First single, Chains and Whip featuring Kendrick Lamar. Anarchy. Anarchy.
Yeah, that is true. That's absolutely how
big
it would
misstep. Big misstep. These are the things that I'm talking about. No, that's a big misstep. Don't tell me that's not a misstep. Don't tell me that they played their hand properly with the rollout when you're sitting up there sitting on that and he's peaking the way that he is. And we don't know that that's the verse until it's like springtime, damn near summertime. No. And you done had that in the tuck for almost a year. That shit ain't cute. No.
Yeah.
Needs improvement. Progress report. Needs improvement.
All right.
You about to be back in school, right?
I
know you give out A's and B's and C's, but we're going to have to go grade school. No, that needs improvement. Give them an N. Needs improvement. Do it again, unsatisfactory. You might have to repeat this course. You continue this, babe.
No. So you still have Freddie first, Clip second, JID third. That's where we're sitting right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay.
I got a couple things I need to do. I Am God's about to drop something soon. I need to get with him too.
Yeah,
LP just dropped a dope project. Rufus's project is dope.
There's a bunch of, and I'm just talking about like major label stuff. I think there's a lot of indie-ish kind of stuff that belongs in not quite this canon, but like in the back half of the top 10 kind of canon, like too.
Yeah, Rufus album's still in my top 10.
There are people in the comments saying that I'm missing super chats. Hold on, let me look. Maybe it's showing up late on mine. Ilmagic, $5 super chat. Luther is still getting played. TV Off is still getting played, and Peekaboo is still getting played.
You want to know what? Luther is still getting played.
That is true.
Luther's still getting played. Luther for sure. I don't know about Peekaboo and TV. I think I've heard TV Off. I'll give you TV Off and Luther for sure. I think I may have heard those recently.
My mere thoughts. Am I missing something else? Like I don't see any others. I think we got them all. Tell me please if I'm missing some, because I want to give everybody their shout outs if they're like if people have done super chats. Am I missing anything else?
I wouldn't know. I didn't bring my laptop, my iPad, or anything down here. I can't see anything. I can't see these super chats.
I think I'm doing a pretty good job keeping up with it, but maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Somebody saying 30 for 30 is still getting played too.
No, it's not. Those are lies. Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you? Where are you? Those are lies. Those are lies. People say anything to protect that guy. They'll say anything. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. He needs to always do features with Pusha T. His two favorite features of mine are both Nostalgia and Chains and Whips.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my favorite Kendrick come-ins in a while. Like, yeah. Like he came off nice on that shit. I don't fuck with the kumbaya shit.
Yeah.
All that talent must be God sent. Send your ass right back to the cosmics. No, that shit's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's nice on.
It is.
That's one of the verse of the year contenders too.
It is. It belongs in that conversation for sure.
It belongs in that combo. That's the verse of the year contender. You got Nas' verse on Omerta. You got Kendrick's verse on Chains and Whips. JID's verse on Gold Feet. That's what I mean. This is the murder you on your own shit year.
Yep.
You know,
and Malice is on this one too.
Yeah, Malice on the JID. Yeah, those are my 4 favorite verses this year. I think, like, as far as like quality and introspecting and actually connecting and staying with me.
Yeah, the Malice's, like I said earlier, Malice's verse on this album was the first one on the album. I mean, I listened to it to that point, and I liked it to that point, but that's the first one that like grabbed me. It's like
That's another thing. For as lyrically great as JID is, he did do his best verse this year on somebody else's album that came out right before his.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for
I
me,
guess I'm gonna have to like go evaluate his verses here. I mean, I like a lot of the stuff here. So again, I am not. I do not have the same frame of reference. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to Forever Story.
I have.
So I have
How
more of
about
a frame
this?
of reference for what I'm talking about.
How about this? The verse on Gold Feet. I haven't used this in a long. The verse on Gold Feet has all of the literary devices and the feeling, and encapsulate his talent. And when I mean it has literary devices, no, it has allegory, alliteration, simile, metaphor, assonance, dissonance. It literally has like Lupe would fall in love with that verse. Lupe heard that verse, he'd be like, "Man, this verse is glorious." He'd do all the technical shit to show you how great the verse was.
I can do the technical shit too. I'm not gonna do it right now because that's not what we're here for. But
It's more fun.
I'm not a professor at MIT, so you know.
It's more fun when I talk about Lupe doing it, Andrew. Just so you're clear, it's more fun when I talk about Lupe.
We can talk shit about Lupe doing it. All right.
Right. All right. I'm about to get out of here, man.
All right.
It's
So
been great.
this has
been
been
real.
A JID review. An album that I like more than Coop does. So I guess that's where we landed.
I mean, 1 versus 3 isn't that bad, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be worse. It's not like I got it like at 7th. I got it at 3 right now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to, like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to Freddie again. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to clips again and get my calibration correct. But
like I tell you, I'm probably going to play the JID more than I play the clips. But I know that's personal, not professional, not objective. Yeah.
Like I said earlier, all I can say about it is that I've played this probably 8 or 9 times in the last 36 hours, and the other ones did not stick to me like that.
Let me tell you what.
Let
me tell you what's going to be problematic for JID. I mean, you know, somebody told me that Gunna just made the best project of his career.
I have not listened to it at all, so I'm going to have to get on that.
I haven't either, but when somebody told me that today, it's like, oh no, I was like, I'm
somebody whose opinion you trust.
Yes. Well, how about this? He got it from one of his YNs, and I was like, oh, I'm like the best project he's ever made because he's made some really dope shit.
That's pretty high up on the.
That is, and so if Gunna made his best project, like somebody told me today, oh, it's gonna be better than this. And so I don't want to hear Gunna project because he might have not made the best album to come out of Atlanta in the last 10 days.
But this is good. This is good. This is good that we.
No, that's what I mean about. That's what I mean about.
Like it's going.
No, this is what I mean about the year
right
picking
direction.
up steam. It's like, oh no, I'm not even sure this is the best. I need to find out if this is the best album that came out of Atlanta this month.
No, and I love Deontay Hitchcock's too. And we're not
but no, that's the type of stuff that excites me. It's like, oh, I don't even know if this nigga got the best album in Atlanta. Let's go find out. Like that. That's why it's like, oh no, let's get it. So
My Mere Thoughts does have a super chat here. I got Let God Sort Him Out over GNX, but the Grammys loved it. And he is not wrong about that. They do.
Well, you know, we all know that. The higher self.
Yeah.
Yeah, the higher self.
And we have Andre Miller, $2 super chat. Alfredo 2 has no high points. Feels like background music.
See, that's what I mean. So when you're saying that, like, first of all, never insult Alchemist by calling his shit background music. That is some of the wildest shit I've ever heard.
It's smooth. I can't get with that.
Yeah. It has a groove. It's an album.
Yeah.
They put it together like an album. They
it's
didn't
like a jazz
put it
album.
together for you to solo it off on iTunes and stream it. They put it together for you to listen to it from end to end. So I've even realized this because it's happened to me too. This is another reason why it's so hard to rate albums now. We are all now preconditioned to separate these songs so much and isolate them that when somebody makes a full comprehensive album that actually has a consistent theme and message and tone, we're like, oh, it all sounds the same. It's an album. It's supposed to have a theme and a flow that sounds the same. Like, listen what I mean. My 2 favorite records are Enchilada and Gold Feet. Don't tell me that those fucking records sound the same.
No, they don't. But the thing is that you're Freddie's album to me is greater than some of its parts, right? Like it is
Yes.
it is better when you hear it together than you do when you have
Yes.
the
An
songs
album.
separately. Right,
An
exactly.
album.
Yeah.
That's why it's album of the year, not best songs of the year. Album of the year. Maybe I need an album of the year. Album of the year. Album.
Right.
Not a highlight reel. Everything is a Sports Center fucking highlight now. Even in music, it's like where the highlight at.
We're back to the 1950s, right? And that's because that's what it was before the album era. The album era
Right.
was kicked off with what, Rubber Soul or something like that, right?
This ain't Motown, bitch. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
those are
we're not
great
doing that.
songs, but yeah, they're not meant to be put together on albums the same way.
No, like when
Or they were
said
not
stuff,
designed to be.
like when Freddie. This
They're
is what I mean.
They're
People
A-side,
don't-
B-side, right? That's what
This
we're
is what
looking
I'm. This is what I mean when people don't want to attach to the lower side of things. Like he literally makes a comment on this album. He's like, "Yeah, he's like, I probably had more money if I would stop spending it on alcohol, cocaine, and bitches." And I'm like, "Huh, love that honesty because I'm not getting it anywhere else." How many rappers are actually admitting that? You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I'd have a much more fun. I'd have a bigger fortune if I stopped tricking off on this dope and these bitches. It's like, no, we're gonna acknowledge that part of the space.
Is that why you like the Doechii album too? Because she did that She did that too.
Yes. How about this? That part of the space is more prevalent than active than the space that you elevate Kendrick about.
You're saying more
Yeah.
people are doing what Freddie's doing than are doing what Kendrick's doing? Am I hearing you correctly?
Absolutely.
I'm trying to quote back to you what you said.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Unequivocally. Absolutely unequivocally.
So your argument is that Freddie is more representative of the, I don't want to say black experience, or is that what you're saying? The black experience than what Kendrick is saying?
No, the
am I
black
quoting you
thought
correctly?
process. The thought process of a black male that's born in the inner city.
Okay.
The process, the thoughts, the actual thoughts. Freddie shares his actual thoughts with you.
It's not aspirational, right?
It's not aspirational. He tells you what he's thinking. His thoughts align more with the African American diaspora in the day-to-day living and that shit Kendrick kicking. It's always been that way. I don't know why people are acting like it's not that way. See, we always like to attach ourselves to something higher because of how we've been dilapidated, particularly in this society. But it don't change the fucking facts. Right.
I'm surprised still this connects to it. I promise, pulling it back to JID a little bit, that you didn't like highlight the Martin and Malcolm line that he did too. That's one of those things that's like, that's the thing that I've heard Coop say like 35,000 times.
So when I heard that, so I know why he said that. It's the same reason I'm saying it. Well, in Atlanta, we're conditioned to,
because Dr. King's from there. Yes, sure.
Yeah. I literally have had so many experiences like around the corner from where he grew up. And,
right.
I worked for the company that did the breakfast service for Ebenezer Baptist Church last year on his holiday. Like,
Which is not
so
just a thing in the history books. That's like a real place that really exists, that really still is a real
church.
Like,
it was around the corner. Like we did the brunch service
not just
for
a
the
historical
breakfast
artifact.
service. Yeah, so there's an attachment to it. But the part like, how about this? Look behind me. Who's up on my wall?
I know.
Because as a black man,
head.
yeah, because it's like, oh no, as a black man, even though I'm from Atlanta, it's like, no, I need you to feel like you can't fuck with me. And that aligns more with that than that. I'm not trying to knock either hustle. I'm just saying, like for me, even raised down here, the older I get. Yeah, give me the brother. There's literally audio footage now surfacing of like the federal government trying to recruit him to like talk against the Nation of Islam when he knew these motherfuckers was trying to kill him, and he's still like, I ain't built like that.
Yeah.
He's like, nah. He's like, I'll never do that. He's like, you know who I am? Like, you must not know who I am. Yeah,
This tracks comes full circle with your initial comments about challenging people, right? Like it's that ethos that kind
there'll
of
be
brings this
no
episode full circle,
ain't
right?
no progress with no peace. The Fed sitting up here trying to turn Malcolm. He's like, man, I don't do that shit.
You're back up off me, yeah.
And that's what I mean. Okay, so this is what I mean. He said it in a higher way, but that was kind of like Detroit Red talking like, better stop playing with me. Ain't no snitching going on over here. That's what I mean. No, that aligns closer to Freddie than to Kendrick.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Ain't no snitching over here, motherfucker. What you think this is? I don't care if my owner trying to kill me. I'm not snitching. That aligns more with what Freddie talking about.
In comparison to, I see it in comparison to Kendrick. You see that in comparison to Clips and to JID too?
I don't think the JID album has a message. That's why I'm putting it third. Although the album is great, I still don't know exactly what he's talking about outside of Atlanta.
I do think he has a message, but and I do
What,
think
like, what do you think the theme of the album is?
I think people have said in the comments too that God does like ugly. He kind of got off the God shit. Like he didn't like really follow that through
It doesn't
particularly.
fit. Correct.
I do think he is showing, though I think that would be could be an appropriate title for Freddie's album too, for the same reason, because you're talking about, you're showing like the ugly, right? And
So
you're
here's the thing.
suggesting that God still not loves me, but like, you know what I mean? Like is still, I might be stretching it a little bit, but that's how it fit to me.
So this is why I don't like the title of the album as it fits to the theme. And this goes back to the Kendrick thing. And this is actually a quality that Kendrick has that also Nas shares, but a DMX or a Scarface doesn't share. They make the inhumane sound beautiful. JID has more of those capabilities, so this don't sound ugly. That's what I mean. Scarface makes it sound ugly. DMX makes it sound
I see what
ugly.
you're saying, yeah.
He doesn't make it sound ugly. He's not that type of MC.
So you're saying like the sonics of it don't match the message.
It doesn't match the
I think
artist.
some of the stuff he's talking about is that.
Some of the stuff, but it doesn't match the artist. See, this is what I mean about back to the Kendrick and the Nas thing, though, with how he delivers the message. No, he makes those unsavory things sound beautiful. Somebody like Freddie makes them sound more harsh.
Yeah.
He's on the opposite end of that spectrum. So making an album for somebody stylistically like him as an MC, calling the album God Does Like Ugly, it's like, no, I was expecting him to dig deeper than he did.
Okay. So you're suggesting that he's losing points because he is not matching. I don't want to say he's not matching your expectations. He is not matching the expectations that the title set for the album.
The records don't match the theme of the album. Correct. Okay. It don't match. That's executive production. Once again.
It is.
Once again. We're not calling this album this. Where the fuck is this even in here? Does he even say that at any point on the album? Is there even a record with the title of it? God Does Like Ugly. Does he even say it during the album? There's no real connective tissue to it. There's no connective tissue to the album title.
Tell us in the comments if I'm forgetting it, because I feel like there's that reference, but I really don't think he says that directly for sure. And there's definitely not a song called that.
Probably should. Like,
could be.
We know why Freddie Gibbs' album is called Alfredo 2. Alchemist, Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo.
Mm-hmm.
The Clips' albums in order go Lord Willing, Hell Hath No Fury, Till the Casket Drops. So dropping an album called Let God Sort 'Em Out.
That's the post, yeah.
See how they're lining up with the message? You see how it lines up? People, and this is what I mean about the album making process. The title got to line up.
Mm-hmm.
The conditions got to line up. The production, no, it's a lot to make a great album. It's a lot. because a lot of people are out here making dope ass records, including JID album. Because it's still going to be the meter that you're measured by at the end of the day, because it's how we were introduced really like musically to this culture, specifically hip hop. The album has always been the thing with hip hop in particular.
Mm-hmm. And it has been since the Beatles for rock and roll music too. Like it's
a barometer. Yeah, that's why I was like, when I say hip hop, I want to be mindful of that. Well, it's because the rest of black music doesn't exist in that structure, but hip hop does for some reason. And even though hip hop started off singles driven, just like the other black, musical predecessors, but something about the album process in hip hop is different in terms of how it's measured.
Well, it's more of a storytelling genre, right?
Well, how about this? We as black people, we gravitate towards talent so much. It's like most people love Mary J. Blige's music more than like a Whitney Houston or a Mariah Carey, but we all know Whitney and Mariah are better singers, right. And so they get the nod over Mary, even if the music don't relate as much, even if they're not there. That's what I mean about it, how it's different in rap. It's like, oh, Whitney and Mariah, we can't relate to them divas like that, but they can damn sure outsing the rest of these motherfuckers. So pick them. And that's kind of how it goes outside of rap. Like rap is the most of a meritocracy of all the genres of music, because it's like, oh no, if your shit's better, we gonna say that your shit is better and put you up at the top. Like we don't care about the rest of that shit.
So in this context, JID's Whitney he's not like that, but like, you know what I mean, like is Whitney and then Freddie would be Mary.
Yeah, he's
right?
He's the talent. Yeah, he's the talent, so you're gonna put him up higher, but he got to do better. Right, you're more talented, do better.
Yeah, these people in the comments arguing about Matthew Henson and the Antarctica, so it's past everybody's bedtime.
Really, that's what we're doing. We're doing ice walls and flat Earth. Yeah, I blame myself. I started that shit with LT.
Yeah, we're not doing flat Earth on Hip Hop Talks or Mirror Music. We're not doing that.
It's crazy. I want people to know I work at an airport. I like watch flight patterns sometimes.
Yes, this is part of your job.
Okay. Just real quick, explain that whole Hawaii to Australia thing to me, since it's flat. All right, have a good night.
So this has been, again, let's try to sign off again for the fourth time. This has been the review for JID's God Does Like Ugly. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for all the super chats. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out despite all the Antarctica conversation. And we'll see y'all next time. We're going to do, I don't know, we'll do Tyler next or Gunna next or somebody next. We'll see you soon, though. Take care, y'all.